How does the GDPR address data subject access requests, DSARs, in terms of response time and format? A. It mandates immediate access to all information in any format. B. It requires controllers to respond within 1 month in a concise, transparent, and intelligible format. C. It prohibits access requests entirely. D. It mandates immediate correction of all inaccuracies. Correct answer. B. It requires controllers to respond within 1 month in a concise, transparent, and intelligible format. Explanation. The GDPR mandates that controllers respond to DSARs within 1 month in a concise, transparent, and intelligible format, ensuring individuals have access to and understand their personal data. How does the GDPR address data protection by design and by default in system development? A. It mandates encryption for all data storage. B. It requires controllers to integrate data protection measures into system design and default settings. C. It prohibits all non-automated processing. D. It mandates periodic audits of system configurations. Correct answer. B. It requires controllers to integrate data protection measures into system design and default settings. Explanation. The GDPR mandates data protection by design and by default, requiring controllers to integrate data protection measures into system design and default settings, ensuring compliance and security from the outset. What role does the European Data Protection Board, EDPB, play in monitoring GDPR compliance across EU member states? A. It oversees national supervisory authorities. B. It provides guidance, monitors consistency, and endorses WP29 guidelines. C. It supervises GDPR enforcement directly. D. It develops GDPR amendments. Correct answer. B. It provides guidance, monitors consistency, and endorses WP29 guidelines. Explanation. The EDPB provides guidance, monitors consistency in GDPR application, and endorses WP29 guidelines, ensuring uniformity across EU member states. How does the CCPA handle businesses processing data for children under 13? A. It prohibits processing entirely. B. It requires explicit consent from a parent or guardian. C. It mandates encryption for all children's data. D. It allows unrestricted processing. Correct answer. B. It requires explicit consent from a parent or guardian. Explanation. The CCPA mandates explicit consent from a parent or guardian for processing data for children under 13, ensuring protection for minors and compliance with Californian privacy laws. How does the GDPR address processing of personal data in the context of compatibility testing? A. It mandates a compatibility test considering specific factors. B. It prohibits secondary processing entirely. C. It allows unrestricted processing for new purposes. D. It mandates immediate disclosure of all processing. Correct answer. A. It mandates a compatibility test considering specific factors. Explanation. The GDPR mandates a compatibility test for secondary processing, considering factors such as the link between purposes, nature of the data, and potential consequences, ensuring alignment with the original purpose. How does the GDPR ensure data breaches are managed and reported effectively? A. It mandates notification to supervisory authorities and affected individuals within 72 hours. B. It prohibits all data breaches. C. It mandates immediate public disclosure. D. It requires processes to handle breaches alone. Correct answer. A. It mandates notification to supervisory authorities and affected individuals within 72 hours. Explanation. The GDPR mandates controllers notify supervisory authorities within 72 hours of a breach and inform affected individuals without undue delay, ensuring timely response and minimizing harm. How does the GDPR handle data portability for individuals? A. It mandates immediate access to all information. B. It allows individuals to request their personal data in a structured, commonly used format. C. It prohibits data portability entirely. D. It mandates proprietary formats for all data. Correct answer. B. It allows individuals to request their personal data in a structured, commonly used format. Explanation. The GDPR grants individuals the right to request their personal data in a structured, commonly used, and machine-readable format, facilitating transfer to another controller and enhancing data portability. What safeguards does the GDPR require for processing sensitive information categories? A. Encryption for all sensitive data. B. Explicit consent or legal obligation for processing. C. Public disclosure of all processing. D. Regular audits of processing activities. Correct answer. B. Explicit consent or legal obligation for processing. Explanation. The GDPR mandates explicit consent or legal obligation for processing sensitive information categories, including health, ethnicity, and others, ensuring protection against misuse. How does the GDPR handle third-party processing relationships to ensure compliance? A. It prohibits third-party processing entirely. B. It mandates contracts outlining responsibilities and obligations. C. It mandates third-party processors register with supervisory authorities. D. It allows unrestricted processing by third parties. Correct answer: B. It mandates contracts outlining responsibilities and obligations. Explanation: the GDPR mandates contracts between controllers and third-party processors, outlining responsibilities and obligations, ensuring compliance and protection for personal data. How does the GDPR handle processing of genetic and biometric data? A. It prohibits their processing entirely. B. It applies to them as special categories. C. It mandates encryption for all genetic and biometric data. D. It allows unrestricted processing. Correct answer: B. It applies to them as special categories. Explanation: the GDPR classifies genetic and biometric data as special categories, prohibiting their processing unless under specific exceptions, ensuring protection against misuse. How does the CCPA ensure compliance for businesses processing personal data of Californians? A. It mandates detailed record-keeping and compliance measures. B. It mandates public disclosure of all processing activities. C. It restricts all data processing. D. It mandates encryption for all personal data. Correct answer: A. It mandates detailed record-keeping and compliance measures. Explanation: the CCPA mandates businesses demonstrate compliance through record-keeping, documentation, and adherence to Californian privacy laws, ensuring protection for Californians. How does the GDPR handle processing transparency for individuals? A. It mandates transparency notices and information on data subject rights. B. It mandates public disclosure of all processing activities. C. It requires annual transparency reports to supervisory authorities. D. It prohibits processing without consent. Correct answer: A. It mandates transparency notices and information on data subject rights. Explanation: the GDPR mandates transparency notices and information on data subject rights, ensuring individuals understand how their personal data is processed and protected. What measures does the GDPR mandate for managing vendor risk in processing relationships? A. Pre-contractual due diligence, regular audits, and ongoing compliance checks. B. Individual agreements with supervisory authorities. C. Vendor registration with supervisory authorities. D. Mandatory encryption for all data transfers. Correct answer: A. Pre-contractual due diligence, regular audits, and ongoing compliance checks. Explanation: the GDPR mandates managing vendor risk through pre-contractual due diligence, regular audits, and ongoing compliance checks, ensuring data processors maintain compliance throughout their relationships. How does the GDPR address the processing of children's data in the context of information society services? A. It prohibits processing entirely. B. It requires explicit consent from a parent or guardian for children under 16. C. It allows unrestricted processing. D. It mandates encryption for all children's data. Correct answer: B. It requires explicit consent from a parent or guardian for children under 16. Explanation: the GDPR mandates explicit consent from a parent or guardian for processing children's data in information society services for children under 16, or as low as 13 depending on member state law. How does the GDPR ensure data retention complies with storage limitation? A. It mandates retention periods specified by EU or member state law. B. It restricts retention to what is necessary for processing purposes. C. It mandates immediate deletion of all data after processing. D. It mandates periodic audits of storage facilities. Correct answer: B. It restricts retention to what is necessary for processing purposes. Explanation: the GDPR mandates storage limitation, restricting retention to what is necessary for processing purposes, ensuring personal data is not held longer than needed. How does the GDPR define its territorial scope concerning processing of personal data? A. It applies solely to EU-established entities. B. It applies if processing relates to offering goods or services to EU data subjects or monitoring their behavior. C. It applies to all processing activities worldwide. D. It mandates GDPR compliance for all data processing activities. Correct answer: B. It applies if processing relates to offering goods or services to EU data subjects or monitoring their behavior. Explanation: the GDPR applies to processing of EU data subjects' personal data by entities offering goods or services to EU residents or monitoring their behavior, ensuring compliance and protection.